Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here, Saturday morning. Saturday Share the Love Club. Yeah, and this is a big one. This is one that I'm springing on you guys at the last second. You didn't even realize I was going to do. Darko. Let's share the love for Darko today. I figured that this is the perfect time to do it. It's his birthday tomorrow, guys. It will be Darko's birthday tomorrow. So let's have a little pre-birthday party for him today. And let's show love for our coach. We've had him for our coach for 2.5 years now. And you know what, man? I feel like at this point, I know him pretty good, whether it's his personality and who he is and what he stands for, whether it's how he coaches. I feel like I know him pretty good from doing this channel and watching the show. So I think I want to go over the reasons why I love Darko. I think I want to go over them. And, that's what we do. Share the love club. Share the love. So Raptor Freaks in the chat, share the love for our coach, Rajakovic, and tell us what you love about Darko today. That's what this is all about. We're trying to put more positivity and love in this world because Scotty asked for it. And that's when the Share the Love Club was founded a few years ago after he said, we need to have people share more love. That's what we do here. And well, I feel like it's the perfect timing. Darko's birthday tomorrow and his recent appearance at Allstar weekend as the coach of the world team. That's a huge accomplishment. That's amazing. He's the first ever European coach to coach in the All-Star game. And that's fantastic. He's the first to do a lot of stuff because he's kind of a trailblazer. Wait, no, it's the wrong word. A ceiling breaker. Trailblazer. That's not the right word. He's somebody who breaks through ceilings for European coaches in the NBA. Get to new levels, building up higher than anybody else has before. And I love that. Darko is a humanitarian. Darko cares about people. He cares about people close to him that are in his life. And he also cares about people that are not in his life. They're just in general people. We know about the assist program with Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto and the hospital in Memphis and the hospital back in Serbia and the incredible amount of money from his salary that he is donating to these hospitals to help with funding for these hospitals. It's an amazing program. It's amazing thing. I know a lot of NBA players and coaches do stuff like this, but man, Darko's project in particular is just been so awesome. And of course, they went to the Sick Kids Hospital about a month ago and made their visit. They go through all the time. And honestly, that trip is really rewarding for the players. Whenever they do that, the players always come out saying, like, I'm glad we did this. This makes me feel better as a human being. And I can tell that we make a big difference for these kids when we come and visit them at Sick Kids Hospital. So, yeah, I know Scotty in particular really enjoys going to see the kids and getting that time to spend with people. It's just the kind of thing that humbles you and grounds you in humanity and what should align with what is important. Maybe there's people that are being jackoffs and idiots around this world right now that need to go to Sick Kids Hospital and make a visit to see the kids in that ward. And maybe their perspectives and things would change. Maybe not, just because they're inhumane pieces of garbage that are devoid of human emotion at this point and are just all out for themselves financially. Yeah, I don't know. Could that be a way to rehab people from being douches? You got to go to Sick Kids Hospital and volunteer for a day. And you can get out your own head and see what the life is for some people other than you. And you can actually feel like maybe, I don't know, we could try and figure out if you have any empathy left in you. It's crazy. Of course, Darko at the All-Star weekend, he flashed something new. And I know Trevor J was really impressed with this. He was speaking Spanish in the media scrum. Some of the people came up to him and started talking Spanish to him. And he's, without a beat, speaking and answering in Spanish back. That's pretty cool. He's a talented guy. They did that to Nikola. I guess they just expected, it says one Serbian guy knows how to speak Spanish, another one will. They start asking Nikola Jokic questions in Spanish at All-Star Weekend last week. He's like, oh, he's like, Luka's the one who knows how to speak Spanish, because that's true. Doncic can speak Spanish, but Nikola doesn't. But Darko does. Darko speaks fluent Spanish also. I think that one of the things that I love the most about Darko Rajakovic is his duty, is his sense of purpose. This man's very simple. It's like, look, his job is complicated and it's tough. It's a lot of gears in motion and kind of working in the whole works of the Toronto Raptors franchise. But the one thing is, he has a very clear and specific reason for why he does what he does, and that is to help our team win. That's what he said. This is the thing, man. The money, the prestige, the being maybe probably the best European coach in NBA history. We could probably say that because there's very limited pool to choose from. I'm telling you right now, there's not as many European coaches in the NBA's history. You know, he's probably one of the top guys. But this is the thing, man. He always says this, and I love this because he goes at this just like how I go at this channel. Every day, relentlessly, 24/7. He is trying to figure out how to make the Raptors a better team. He said it from the start. And in 2.5 years of watching, I believe the hell out of him because he is doing what he's doing to make this team better. And we see it in the results and the standings this year. We see the results from the first year to the second year to the third year. And his sole purpose. This is why I love the man so much, because his sole purpose is the same as mine. We want to see the Raptors win more. And that's the only thing he's trying to do. And his life, whether it's in his free time or in the work time, he's always thinking about this. He's obsessed. He can't stop. He cannot stop. He cannot help himself. He is going to watch a movie. He'll be with his wife, Gaga. He'll be at a movie in the movie theater. And he'll probably watch something in the plot line, and he'll be thinking, how can I help the Raptors be better from this information? I'm serious. This is the way this man's mind works. Like when we get done with the season, sure, he's going to go home and play with his son. Sir, he's going to go home and say, I love you, Gaga. And I'm home. It's the season. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to go in that other room and get out a basketball book and start reading and researching how to make the Raptors better. That's the thing, man. I don't question how dedicated this dude is to his mission, because it comes through in how he carries himself and the results he gets. You know, this dude's really, really well organized. I mean, it's a testament to how well organized and how visionary he is that he has the same exact coaching staff since he came here. This is 3 years of the same coaching staff. That's great continuity, and that is not totally common, guys. Every single year, even with Nick Nurse down in Philly, you're going to flip out a couple assistant coaches and put new ones in every year. There's going to be some turnover. But nah, Darko got it right the first time. He said, these are my coaches. Jama, yeah, come on. Vin, I like you. Come on, Vin. Let's go. Mike Batiste, yeah. Coco, come on, you know. These are the same people, same 10 assistant coaches he's had this whole 3 years. He must be astute and knows how to work with people, and he gets things done. And he's like, well, these are the team. This is the team. These are my people. Pat Delaney and Eric Curry, you know, Jim Sand. That's right. So, yeah, I appreciate him for that too. That like he's very well organized. These people that he has working with him are very well organized themselves. And it's like Darko's the head coach, and the assistant coaches are doing all kinds of stuff in their own areas. And it's a really well put together, organized machine where lots of stuff is getting done because of the delegation of different duties and different things. And some of these people that we have working for us, like Mike Batiste, that's a big man's coach. You know, they've got specialties. And I mean, like I said, that's a testament to him being a good, astute judge of talent and who he can work with. And he can work with a lot of people, I'm sure, because he's very easygoing, a good, easy person he's just a people person. But he got his coaching staff right, and nothing's changed with it since he came here with them. That's impressive to me. Seriously, even when Nick was coaching our team, there would be shuffling in and out a little bit every year. Like maybe one coach would leave and a new one would come in. There was always a shuffling around. Yeah, Darko's passion to see the Raptors win and get a championship and do all this stuff is the same as mine. Every morning for 4 years, I've been getting up at 9:30. I'm doing the show. And that's a grind. It's like it's a dedication. My goal on this channel is to help the Raptors win championships by putting out, good feelings, good energy, teaching fans to be better fans, to stop being so toxic, for believing in their team, for rooting for their team's healthy ways, and stop all the unnecessary bullshit. So, my battle and what I'm trying to do here, what my mission is here, is the same in some ways for him, but his is actually in the middle of it. And he is actually an architect and a designer of the offense and the systems that we do to win. And I love that. I love that, man. I love him so much. Happy early birthday, Darko. Happy early birthday. I'm really happy that this man is a multifaceted coach. This man is not just a development coach, but he is for sure a development coach. For sure a development coach. If the player is on the Raptors team and Darko is the coach, you're going to get better. I don't care what part of your career you're in. I don't care. We saw in the last couple of years, Chris Boucher have a career year. His best year as a pro under Darko. We saw Jakob Poeltl have his best year as a pro later in his career under Darko. Not under Popovich, not under Dwayne Casey before. No, he had his best year in the NBA as a Raptor in his latest stint with the Raptors under Darko, because Darko continues to develop guys, even if they're further into their NBA career, closer to the end. That's what they say. And Darko's developing Garrett Temple, y'all. And Garrett Temple's getting better as a player, even though you don't see him playing behind the scenes in practice. He's had gains to his game, even this far into his career, because of Darko. So you got to think about what he can do with a young player who comes in who's a teenager, like Grady was when he came in. And you see how he can grow. Different players will grow at different stages. Brandon Ingram's growing and getting better and better as a player under Darko this year. He's doing things this year that he's never done in his career this year on the Raptors under Coach Darko. So, yeah, I love that part of him. Of course, he's a fantastic development coach, but many are questioning whether he'll be a good playoff coach or a good competitive coach when the team is rebuilding to a higher level and they are actually competing to possibly get the Larry O'Brien. What will Darko be then? Because some people think, oh, you're either a development coach or a playoff coach. You can't be both. Well, wait, what if you can be both? And there are a lot of coaches that are both in some ways. I think Darko's both. I think the fact that he's so quick with the timeouts in good ways, I think the fact that he's experimental, and there is, in some ways we could say the Raptors are not totally predictable right now. We could say that, we watched Raptor games over the months of this year, and there's a little bit of differences in the lineups and even in the strategies that the Raptors are doing on the court at times. So Darko's freshening it up and, keeping it experimental and trying different things all the time. Like in the last game, the Sandro with Jakob lineup, that was very new and very different. And we had not seen that except for maybe at the beginning of the year a little bit. So, I like that aspect about him, and it bodes well that when we do get in the playoffs and we are trying to get further in the playoffs, like the Eastern Conference Finals to the finals, Darko may still be the right coach for us at that point. Because some people will speculate Darko's not going to be a good coach for that. I don't think that's true. We have to let him try and see what it is, and I think he'll be successful. So, man, there's so much to love about Darko. His personality, the way he's jokey, the way he's kind of sarcastic but funny at the same time with the press. He's getting more comfortable there, and he will bite back at Michael Grange and other people when they're kind of out of line with their questions. I love that. I mean, it's good to have feistiness if you're going to deal with the media scrum and journalists like some of the ones that cover the Raptors. And Kyle Lowry is a great example of somebody with a bite back towards him. Fred VanVleet could do it. Fred VanVleet could do it. Emmanuel's shown it too. Yeah, Emmanuel don't take no mess sometimes when he's sitting at the microphone. Yeah. Darko also. It's funny, man. And the thing that he stands for the most when he kind of doesn't take no mess from the press guys is standing up for his dudes, for his team. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, Darko, Emmanuel quickly is not really shooting that. But Michael, what are you talking about? I don't see what you see. Emmanuel is fine. What are you talking about? Emmanuel's having a great year. Darko. It's shit like that. I love that. I love that. He gets up there. Oh, don't get him started on Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is an all-star. Scotty Barnes is the face of this league. Yes, Darko. And Scott loves that. That's like, we're talking about love today. It's your love club. He loves how his coach stands for him and gets up there and spouts things like this. Because in some ways, Darko's helping Scotty to make more money. But also, in some ways, he's helping Scotty to get his prestige and his legend and his notoriety noticed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Darko, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. It's a complete crap. Yeah. Yeah. So y'all share the love for Darko Rajakovic, the coach of the Raptors. And Masai got it right again. That's right. We took a long time to hire him. We took like 3 months. Everybody else was hiring coaches left and right. And everybody's getting a little worried. Oh, no, there's no good coaches out there. Nah. Bobby and Masai knew what they were doing. And Masai picked the right one, baby. Because Darko, they really thought it all out. They really, really thought it all out. And in fact, I think it's really important that he is an international coach. In some ways, the raw end of things that ended with Nick Nurse made you realize maybe we can't trust an American coach. Maybe you can't trust an American coach. So we got Rajakovic. And man, you know what? I also love when he first showed up, immediately as he got the job, it was all said and done. He's a Raptor. That's in his blood, in his life. We gave him the first opportunity to be a head coach, and hopefully he'll be our head coach for a long, long time. And it's just like the dude is so allegiance to us. He's just so like, this is my team, that my blood pumps the purple and red of the Toronto Raptors. It's like that, man. All right, Trevor J, words of wisdom. Thank you, Commissioner Fun, for coming in every day and doing what you do for the show. Train your mind to be stronger than your emotions. Having self-control will get you further than constantly reacting to everything that's trying to test your patience. Center yourself and remain calm in difficult or challenging situations. Yeah, there is a certain level of stoicism that you're going to need going into the new era. There's going to be a little bit of it's not detachment, but at least tempering your emotions to be able to control yourself in the moment. Because in some ways, some people get pleasure from you being upset. Think about it this way. When somebody's bullying you when you're younger, they enjoy it because you react to it, right? If somebody's being an absolute jerk and there's bullying happening at school, the reason why the bully picks on a person is because they're a shallow person that hates themselves, and they're deriving pleasure from making you feel bad. It's a really sick individual. It's like that bullies. But you take the bully's power away when you don't react. You don't give them the satisfaction of you feeling the pain of what they're trying to do to you. That's why you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to let you have this. I'm not going to show you that I'm upset or sad about what you just did. I'm going to just act like you don't fucking exist and fuck you. Something like that, And what happens often is the bully leaves you alone after a while because you're not reacting to them. And they're not getting the joy that they got when you would react. I know it's a really fucked up thing. But in some ways, in this world, if there's going to be sadistic people doing fucked up shit, you don't want to give them what they want. And that means no emotions. And no, I know that's a really fucked up way for me to say this. But this occurred to me the other day that, in the face of like fucked up fascism and people doing really fucked up shit, half of what they get out of it is this weird twisted delight. And in some ways, the more people don't give them that delight, the less they have power. In some ways, also, the more you don't give them the delight, that they don't want to do it anymore, because it's like, well, this is no fun anymore. If you're going to be like that, this is no fun anymore, that kind of thing. So I know maybe it was a little dark how I used this words of wisdom, but I feel like maybe these words may be helpful to people in the future. I don't know. It just depends on where we're going right now. I want to remain positive, and we're going to build towards a future for humanity. But we'll have to see. We got to fight for it, people. It's not going to just be granted to us. We are going to have to change things and make things happen the way that we want to. That's right. Thank you for the words of wisdom. Blessing to the Jones family. That's right. Trevor Jays brought up that the 905 had a big win last night. Everybody played well. Yeah. I was really impressed with the game last night. The 905, just before the All-Star break, had dropped 2 games to the Cleveland Charge, and they were not fun games. They were annoying in that haunted opera arena. It was really annoying. Seriously annoying. Like, I didn't like this. We're not going to play the Charge again this year. They swept us for the season 2-0. And I don't like that. In fact, I don't like it partly because Cleveland Charge is above us in the standings because of it. Well, let's get back on the winning side. And listen, Windy City Bulls is no joke. In fact, they may be better than Cleveland Charge. They probably are, because they just have better star power. They've got like 3 or 4 guys that are actually in the NBA that played against us on Windy City Bulls last night. I was saying last night, it's not fair that they're playing Leonard Miller out there. I mean, Leonard Miller, how many years has he been in the league at this point? Leonard Miller's like in his 6th year or something like that now. I know it seems like it's like, what? He's been in his 6th year. I think he's about in his 6th year by now. It feels like it. I mean, he played in G League like a while back, and for the Timberwolves, he was a bona fide NBA player. So it's like weird. Why is Leonard Miller out there running around for Windy City Bulls? And then you throw in Yuki and Mac McClung. Those guys are playing for the Bulls and the Windy City Bulls. So it's like those guys, they may be short and kind of fun players to watch, but they're also like in the NBA to a degree also. Yuki Kawamura and Mac McClung, 3-time dunk champion. They also got our old friend Mohamedou, man. He's talented. Mohamedou Gay, yeah. He's still got those long arms, and he still hits some threes here and there. And he's annoying. He in some ways, he has revenge for us. And he did show it a bit last night in some very emphatic, powerful dunks. Very, very impressive dunks by Moog G. And in some ways, that's, that's to be expected. You cut me. You gave up on me. I'm coming back at you on a Windy City Bulls team. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and even this goofy guy, Lachlan, who's sitting on the bench for the Bulls when the Toronto Raptors were playing them. He was playing the game last night looking like the NBA's Crispin Glover with his goofy-ass haircut and his Bill Laimbeer style of physicality. Yeah, he's a goofy motherfucker, man, that Lachlan guy. But, yeah, this game was awesome. They got their ass kicked at the beginning of the game. The 905 did not do what the Raptors did against the Chicago Bulls, against the Windy City Bulls last night. No, they didn't. No, I wish they had. They didn't. The Raptors against the Chicago Bulls on Thursday did a really good job right from the start with defensive energy, and it set the tone for the whole game. They were all right up on them, and it caused a lot of turnovers for them. Well, what did the 905 do against Windy City Bulls last night? They let them go crazy with scoring. Didn't play any defense. And they had 44 points after the first quarter. The Windy City Bulls, 44 points in the first quarter. And in the first half, they were beating the 905 by 22 points. Yeah. The Bulls had 22-point lead at one point last night while they're beating us down and kicking us around. And me and Mo were in the chat, and Mo's like, Raptors 905, you got to do better. You got to do better. This is no good. They're kicking our butt. And they were. They were kicking our butt, and they looked like such a powerful team because of the players that I had mentioned earlier that they had out there, Leonard Miller and people like that. I was like, man, this Windy City Bulls team is actually got a really high talent level. Well, what happens? The Raptors started, Jamison Battle was there, right? And he was playing for 905. And they started an interesting starting lineup. They started Elijah Martin, AJ Lawson, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle, and Jarkel Joyner. Now, that's weird to me. It was Olivier Sarge's birthday yesterday, and he's been the starting center for a long time. And I was like, I was actually thinking about it when I was driving back to the house to watch the game last night. Well, maybe they should start Sar and have a big lineup. And it's funny because somebody in the chat, I think it was Amit the Goat, or maybe it was Tristan, was saying, I think they should have started big too. And I was with them on that. Yeah. Because if they started Sar with Mobo at the power forward and Battle at small forward, and then AJ and Elijah as the guards, no offense, JJ, you're awesome, Joyner. I'm glad you started. That would have been an interesting look, at least defensively. And maybe we wouldn't have gave up a 44-point first quarter. And it was Sar's birthday. They didn't even let him start on his birthday. He's been starting all year for the most part. He didn't start on this birthday. So, but, I think that's part of the reason why their defense wasn't that good at the beginning, because Battle, in some ways, he's not used to playing on 905. I don't think he's played there until yesterday, right, this year. And there's a certain level of integrity to the defense that Andrew Jones demands of his players. And I don't know if Battle was showing up with it exactly right. And the defensive scheme for the team at the beginning was no good. 44 points dropped on you first quarter. Boom, like that. Yuki Kawamura. It's like that. It's like that. But as the game went on, they started to find a way and, chip away at the score, get the score down, and, come back and get them in the fourth. A very amazing fourth quarter where they outscored the Windy City Bulls 45-28 in the last frame and won 141-135. They came back, and it was just really solid defense. It was a new level of intensity. It was some of it was confidence. Some of it was, this is who we are, and this is our identity, the identity that Andrew Jones has built with his team this year. And it was fantastic. I mean, it's a testament to 905 because this crew has changed. It's just like every G League season where the team has a different cast that rotates in different ways because different people have different things going on in different ways. And last night, David Roddy, because David Roddy's playing for Team USA and the USA Select team all of a sudden, right? So that's a big difference. We've had a steady, big body Roddy out there to stir the pot on our offense to make offensive opportunities just from screening around and just being a big, huge body to like run around and kind of get openness from. And well, Roddy not being there did hurt us last night. I saw an apparent difference between Roddy 905 and Roddy list 905. And there's a certain part of stirring the offense to get more better open shots for the 905 that was missing last night, partly because Roddy wasn't there. You see Patrick McCaw was in street clothes, not available to play. Quincy Guerrier still out, not available to play. So it's like Andrew Jones kind of has to play the guys he has when he has them, And it's like, well, this is the team I've got. Oh, Jameson, hi, good to see you. We'll have to figure out how to get this all worked out. And that's what he has to do. Yeah, Roddy's been such a steady person that's been at 905 this whole season. And his absence suddenly in the game last night was felt. Let's just put it that way. It was felt. There was a new player on the team. I didn't even see him play hardly. Number 35, Caleb Stone Carawell. I didn't even really see him out there. He was out there for 2 minutes. But yeah, let's do the stars of the game for the 905 game real fast here. The number one star of the game to me was AJ Lawson. AJ Lawson was doing what he does. It's in some ways it's really important for AJ to score. It's really, really important. And when he doesn't shoot well and he doesn't score a lot, it hurts the 905. They need him to be a scorer. In some ways, he's got to be like RJ or Emmanuel for the Raptors. As far as you got to get your chip in of your buckets to help the team keep continuing to be able to score. And well, Lawson, 35 minutes, 26 points on 9 of 17 shooting. I love that, man. He shot over 50%. And that's a good game. Whenever AJ Lawson shoots over 50%, that's a good game for him. 3 of 8 from 3, 3 of 4 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and he was a plus 10. AJ, late in the game, had some very important shots that he made. Important 3 in the corner. He was aggressive attacking the basket, and he was very important to make up the deficit when they were down. So good job, AJ Lawson. You're my number 1 star of the game for last night. My second star of the game is Jonathan Mobo. Mobo had a fantastic game last night. And former Raptor Freak or Raptor Freak, Tristan Trey, was in the chat, and he's just putting down Mobo. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Tristan? Why are you talking down Mobo? Oh, Mobo's had a really bad year, Lex. He's been really bad this year. I'm like, what the fuck have you been watching, bro? Mobo's had a bad year? Did you not know on February the 10th against the Cleveland Charge, Jonathan Mobo got a 30-point game with like 4 steals and 3 blocks? I mean, are you paying attention? Hello? You say Jonathan Mobo is not playing well this year? You're crazy. And once again, he played really well last night to prove my point as the game went on. You know, and you know what else makes it sound like he's good, Tristan? When former NBA player and classic car person a couple times, Kendall Gill, who's calling the game for Windy City Bulls as the color announcer, says, that Jonathan Mobo guy, he's pretty good. Well, Kendall Gill thinks he's good, Tristan. So Jonathan Mobo, 28 minutes, 22 points on 11 of 14 shooting, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 4 steals, and a +4. Shooting 11 of 14, Tristan, and you think Jonathan's having a bad year? Oh, nephew. That's what I call you, my guy. That's right. But yeah, he was really good near the basket last night. I love Jonathan was collecting himself. That's why he shot so well. He was patient, and he was making them go in, and there was no missed bunnies. He was very much, if he had the ball off an offensive rebound, or it's because he's just in the basket, in the paint area because they got the ball worked into him. He was patient, avoiding the defender and getting up there and scoring the basket. So kudos to Jonathan Mobo. And man, I don't even understand. People are, you know, Tristan, you're just coming at him because you think that he got drafted because he's Scotty's friend. Well, what the fuck? Dude, that's a good thing. He's a good player. He's helping the team, and he's Scotty's friend. That is a bonus. And don't give me no Kyle Filipowski bullshit, all right? Seriously. The third star is the man who got the chain. And that's partly because the man don't come to this team very often. That's Jamison Battle. You know, I was worried about Battle for most of the game because in some ways, look, he's come down to 905 last year, and he has suffered for it. I'm not going to lie. Seriously, Jamison could go to 905, and it backfires because he goes down there, and he actually doesn't play well. And then he starts getting his feelings about confidence. Be like, oh, shit, I got sent to Mississauga, and now I'm playing horrible, and I can't even score 10 points. I was worried that was going to happen last night because, you know, this is important, Jamison. You can't fuck around with this. You need to be like Siakam and Boucher before you. If you have the assignment to go to 905, you need to show them that you're a level above and that you shouldn't be down there. And I was worried that you weren't going to look like that by the end of the game, but you did. You did great by the end of the game. In some ways, Jamison at halftime, he had like 8 points. And I was like, oh, no, Jamison, you got to do something more than this. You got to do something more than this. And he did. He woke up in the second half and started bombing threes. And we got some of that awesome Jamison Battle shooting that is so rewarding when he's just in the zone and he's making those shots. And the Windy City Bulls announcers were lamenting, oh, my gosh, Jamison Battle's taking this game from us. Somebody guard Battle. Get on Battle. Because this dude is beating our ass all of a sudden in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, bombing threes, making these threes, man. So Jamison, 37 minutes, 22 points, 8 of 18. So he didn't shoot super well, but he was fine. 6 of 13 from 3. So he did hit 6 threes in the game by the end of the game. But at halftime, he only had like 1 3. 0 for 1 at the free throw line, which is stupid. Dude, you're a 3-point specialist shooter. How the hell do you miss free throws, my guy? I never get how Grady and Jamison can be missing free throws sometimes. That's stupid, man, especially when the free throw counts more in the 905 because it's either a 2 or 3-point basket right there. 5 rebounds for Jamison, 8 assists. This is really impressive. The man was passing it around. He got 8 assists. That may have been one of his highest assist totals in his career in the NBA or the G League. 2 turnovers, a +7. Yeah, I'm just glad Jamison came through in the end, got a 22-point game, and he absolutely was crucial for our comeback, and making those 3-point shots was very, very timely. And I like the way that Andrew was setting play sets up to really get the ball to Jamison and get him wide open looks. At times, the Bulls were not doing their job to try and catch up and stop him, and they got burned for it. Trust me. They got burned for it for sure. 4th star of the game for 905's win last night is Jarkel Joyner. Jarkel got the start, as I said earlier, and he had a very efficient game. In some ways, we needed him to do what he does because this is a very high-scoring game, 141 to 135, and the firepower had to be there for the 905. And that's why AJ was important, like I said earlier, Jamison, and Jarkel. Jarkel was scoring at very important times, and he made his shots. 29 minutes, 18 points, 6 of 12, 50%, 2 of 4 from the 3, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, 2 steals, and a -10 for Jarkel Joyner. Yeah, Jarkel had some key free throws late too, and just really awesome player, man. I love Jarkel Joyner. You know, he's a baller. He's like a Jamal Crawford. He's like a Lou Williams. And, you know, he could be the best player on another G League team, but he's been on our 905, and I think it's been very rewarding to him. All the winning and looking good. And, you know, man, I don't know what is in the future for Jarkel Joyner, but I only wish him blessings and happiness. How about that? How about that? That's right. My 5th star of the game last night is the birthday boy, Olivier Sarr, who didn't start, but he got a double-double in the game last night, which is fantastic. 24 minutes for Olivier, 14 points with 10 rebounds, 5 of 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line. In fact, the free throws were important ones late in the game, very much at the end of the game. And the game was very close, and we had to manage it a certain way. 1 assist, 3 turnovers, and 2 blocks, a +12 for Olivier Sarr, one of the higher plus minuses on the team. So even though he didn't start, he had a big impact on the game last night, and he was very important with his free throws late. And a couple of the threes he hit were very timely and helpful too, for sure. 5th star of the game for the game. Actually, we'll go further. We're going 6th star and 7th star. 6th star, Tyreek Key off the bench. Really happy to see Tyreek back in the lineup. He had missed a couple games because of twisting his ankle against Grand Rapids Gold a little while back. And, well, he returned to the lineup, thank goodness, because once again, just like Jarkel and AJ, all hands on deck. We need our scorers. We need our guys that can hit shots to get out there and hit shots. And Tyreek, 19 minutes, 15 points. 4 of 5 shooting, 4 of 4 from 3, perfect 4 for 4 from 3. So he was money every time he took a 3-point shot. He was 1 for 3 at the free throw line, which is weird. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, a -2. Tyreek, thank you for coming back. I need to see Quincy come back. I need Patrick and out of street clothes also. So, yeah, we need all guys back. And David Roddy needs to come back too from playing for USA. Because, yeah, we're going to play them again tonight. Windy City Bulls, part 2, the second game in a back-to-back, same exact teams. We'll have to see if Jamison should still be there, I hope. We'll have to see. But, yeah, they're going to play again tonight. So, if you know, these games are very entertaining. If you're not watching Raptors 905 games, you're missing out because this game was very close down to the wire. There was drama, and, well, the Raptors won. And we always like feeling good after a close win, right? So Raptors fans, wake up. Watch the 905 also. You really enjoy it, seriously. My 7th star of the game and last star of the game for last night is Julian Reese. Julian in 15 minutes, 9 points on 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 turnovers, 2 steals and 2 blocks, and a -3. He's just an active player. He's a fantastic young 20-year-old player. who's got a real future. I'm telling you right now, there's some roughness to him, but he really does have a good future. And man, you guys got to put a pin in him and keep him around, Bobby Webster and Luke Wynn. Julian Reese is a keeper. I'm telling you this over and over again. The kid is a really, really interesting prospect. In some ways, I'm not saying he's like Shamshay exactly, but in some ways, I value him. I'm starting to value him as much as I valued Shamshay. Seriously. Some people be like, whoa, that says a lot, Lex. Shamshay was showing Giannis vibes. Yeah, and this dude's not exactly Giannis vibes, but the Oakley vibes I really love about Reese. The Oakley vibes. Somebody in the chat last night tried to say that Julian Reese is Timu Tristan Thompson. And I was like, that's an insult. I mean, I guess I should recognize Toronto's Tristan Thompson as being an excellent pro who won championships with the Cavaliers, but I don't respect him and I hate him. And so I won't give him any credit or anything. So maybe that isn't an insult, but to me it is. Calling Julian Reese Timu Tristan Thompson. See, I don't even say his name right. That's how little I think of him. Elijah Martin is my honorable mention for last night. 24 minutes, 15 points, 4-9 for the University of Florida product. 1 of 5 from 3, 4-4 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, a +1. He's solid, and he had important stuff that he did defensively. And, he's a very smart player. I like how Elijah gets in there and gets offensive rebounds. And I also like how he kind of tries to muscle in and get his shots close to the basket. That's tough for him at his height. But he shows discipline. When he doesn't have the shot, he doesn't try to force it. He kicks it back out. So I appreciate all that about you, Elijah. I really, really do. The other guys who played last night, Tyson Degenhart, 9 minutes, missed his only shot and got a block shot, and that's it. So his only stat was a block shot. That's different. That's really different. AJ Hoggard, interesting line for him. 19 minutes, 0 for 6, 0 points. He missed his only 3 rebounds, but 13 assists with 3 turnovers. And he was the highest plus-minus on the team, +15. So AJ Hoggard having a winning effect on the game and being a distributor with 13 assists and 0 points. So, yeah, a lot of different people doing different things to help the team win. And I appreciate Andrew Jones for being a fiery coach. He was very angry at the refs a couple times and got a technical and was yelling. And that was immediately after halftime. He really laid into the refs, yelling at Marcy Williams and Kelsey Reynolds and Claudia Mula, and got attacked. But I was thinking that in some ways, Andrew Jones getting all pissed off at the refs, he's showing the intensity that he wants his players to show on the court with their defense and clamping down Windy City. And it mirrored it exactly. It did. It mirrored it exactly. So, Andrew Jones, salute to you. Continue your success. I knew you were like this. Monique knew you were like this. And your first season, you showed signs of it. And now this year, you are completely doing such a good job coaching this team, man. I have so much respect and admiration for Coach Andrew Jones on this Share the Love Club day for Darko. So, yeah, that's the box score for the Raptors 905 last night. We'll give a little credit on the other side to Mac McClung, who was amazing, 34 points in 32 minutes. He was 4-9 from 3. Yeah, he's crazy player, man. Like, he's not just a dunk guy. He can hit open threes, and he is a scorer, and he will put the ball in the basket. He had 5 rebounds, 7 assists, but also 6 turnovers. They were posting him and Yuki like crazy, which is fun. It's fun to see AJ and Elijah getting to post up these little guards. And they play them together, which is crazy. Also, Yuki got 23 points with 9 assists and 8 rebounds. Yuki got 8 rebounds last night. That's crazy, man. That's crazy right there. But between Yuki and Mac, they were 8 of 14 from 3 last night. So that's pretty good stuff. That Albrecht guy is annoying, man. Like I said before, he's annoying. 24 points for him on 10 of 11 shooting. At one point, he did the butt to who I don't even remember which Raptor it was. I think it was AJ or somebody, but who was it? Was it Reese? I don't know. No, it was Sar. He hit the guy with his butt and to get room, and the guy went flying back, and that's when Andrew got the technical. He got really mad. He's like, that man just hit him with his butt. He did. Lachlan went boom, like he's on the dance floor. I'm gonna butt you, boom, to get the guy behind him away from him, and the guy fell back. So that was kind of a big butt Kyle Lowry move right there. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened with the team last night. Leonard Miller, 16 points on 7 and 9, just getting our Canadian content in there. Mohamedou off the bench, 8 points and 6 rebounds for and 5 blocks. 5 blocks for Mo Gay. Crazy. The team stats go like this. 905 shot 53%. The Windy City Bulls shot 57%. Offense wasn't a problem here. It was not a problem at all for either team, but defense was for both teams at different times. Defense for the Raptors 905 early, and defense for the Windy City Bulls late was not right. 3-pointers, Raptors 905, 18 threes, 15 for Windy City. So Jamison Battle really bolstered us in that. Also, free throw line, 15 of 20 for the 905 and 70% for the other team. So we beat them at the line. Also, rebounds. We out-rebounded them +4. We had 16 offensive rebounds. Assisted turnover ratio, 41-14 for the 905. That's really good. That's like 3-1, right? 3-1. Meanwhile, the other side, 34-20. 34-20. Points in the paint. They won the points in the paint, 66-62. But yeah, fantastic game. And the largest lead of the game for the Windy City Bulls, 22 points, and they lost. Our largest lead was 7. Yeah, that's really awesome, man. In some ways, you could tell the announcers were really defeated by this. They're like, oh, we're doing so well. Yay, we're so happy. And then the Raptors 905 come back from a 22-point deficit and win in the end. That's kind of what they do. That's kind of what they do as a team. That's why they're so much fun to watch, y'all, because they could be losing by 15 points at halftime, and they still win the game in the second half. So definitely watch 905 tonight if you're not busy. And I'll be in the YouTube chat with superfan Monique Lawrence. And, we'll be there if you want to hang out and talk to us there too. Yeah. Trevor says Sacramento has 3 players with season-ending injuries. So Domantas Sabonis, DeAndre Hunter, and Zach LaVine. This is the new way. And maybe the Raptors were trendsetters with Brandon Ingram. I don't know. That teams are kind of tanking for the end of the season is shutting players down. Maybe shutting them down early. Shutting them down for piddly stuff that maybe they would have played through if the team had other objectives. You know what I'm saying? It's you could look at this and say, well, what teams are shutting down players already this year? Teams that are at the bottom of standings, teams that are not going to be making the playoffs, teams that are all about losing for the rest of the year to enhance their chances for a high draft pick. Yeah, it's goofy, man. I like a lot of the different ideas that I'm hearing about fixing this. And it sounds like Adam Silver is going to fix this summer. He's not going to mess around. And we're going to have new NBA rules after this summer. And coming into next year, there's going to be rules that are going to try and stop this tanking shit. And I think what he'll do, I don't know what he's going to do. There's a few options that are being talked about. Some of them are very drastic, like getting rid of the draft altogether. Some of them are kind of a middle ground. Like I like the hockey idea that they're doing in the women's hockey league, where you, when you're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you switch to gaining points for getting the draft pick, and you have to try and win out to be able to get that pick. It's been tried in this hockey league, and it's been working. Because apparently this hockey league had horrible tanking problems. And a fan came up with the idea, and he proposed it to them, a fan. And they tried it, and it's working. So maybe that model will work for the NBA as far as you play to win to get your draft pick spot after you're eliminated. And that means you need to win some games. They went back and they looked at last season in this system. And they saw that if we had done this with this last year, the way the Raptors played at the end of the year, because they were out of the playoffs and how much we won, we would have had the second pick in the draft last year in this system. Seriously, because we were one of the most winning non-playoff teams at the end of the season last year. when we were eliminated, if they counted from when we were eliminated from the playoffs too, we acquired more points than most of the other non-playoff teams because we kept winning by the end of the year, and we would have had the second pick in that new system. So think about it that way, guys. That if this system was implemented last year, the way the Raptors closed the season with the easy schedule and winning when everybody's saying we need a tank, if we would have won the second pick in that system. Isn't that interesting? I think that's interesting as hell. Isaac Campbell's in the house. Good morning to the benevolent one, holding it down in the nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Mr. Isaac Campbell. Good morning, sir. Share the love. That's right. The Knicks lose at home to the Pistons. Too small. Can the Pistons win it all? I think so. I hope so. I mean, listen, that's not a team in the East that I'd get totally upset if they win the championship. There's a lot of teams in the East I would. For some reason, maybe it's because of the futility the Pistons had in recent years. It'd be kind of cool to see. Maybe it's because I celebrated in 1989 and in 1990 Detroit Pistons championships with them. Maybe it wouldn't be that upsetting to me to see Scotty Barnes' best friend, Cade Cunningham, get a championship. I mean, in some ways, I like their team. They definitely kicked our butt when we played them the first time this year. I don't know. We'll just have to see what kind of legs they have. Are they for real? Are they going to be able to really go deep? Or is there a ceiling in the playoffs that has nothing to do with regular season excellence where you bump your head like Cleveland Cavaliers found out last year? I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Isaac's putting a vote of confidence on them. If they won the championship, like I said, out of the Eastern teams other than the Toronto Raptors and the ones that are contending, that's the one that I wouldn't mind. Seriously, I wouldn't mind it. You know, Pistons fans have gone through the ups and downs over the years. They've had success with 3 championships. Maybe they're due for their next one again since the age of Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, and Chauncey Billups. That's right. That's right. Isaac's saying this: I will never call you out. I will call you up. That's accountability with a growth mindset. Why did it jump? Hang on. That's accountability with a growth mindset. All built on love. Take notes, world. Yeah, I like that too, man. I like that too. Yeah, I think that one of the things that you got to love about Darko is he's like a real guy. He's just real. There's no fakery about him. And if he's coming to Scotty and he's saying, Scotty, I love you. I care about you. I want to know how your life is. How is your daughter? And all this stuff. You know, there's a little bit of news out from yesterday that Scotty missed practice, guys. Scotty was not with the Raptors in Milwaukee getting ready for the game tomorrow. And there's some speculation that Scotty will not be playing for us tomorrow because he's away for personal reasons. I don't know exactly what it is. I hope it's nothing very serious, like, you know, a family member is in trouble or any kind of problems for Scott in his life. But he is away from the team technically as of yesterday and is speculated to possibly not be playing tomorrow for the Raptors against the Milwaukee Bucks. Just a little bit of a heads up that Barnes has departed from the team for personal reasons as of yesterday, was not present at practice, and it's dubious whether Scotty will play in tomorrow's game at 3:30. Just so you guys know, a little news and notes right there. That's right. Yeah, we love Scott. We love Darko, and Darko loves Scott because he's not just his coach, he's his friend. And if Scotty is having problems right now, I'm sure he could call his coach, and his coach will be there for him. You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's different than Nick Nurse. I'm going to say that right now. Yeah, Isaac's got celebrating Darko's birthday early. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Coach Darko. Happy birthday. It's a day early. Happy birthday to Coach Darko. Of course, we found out recently that he shares a birthday with our latest acquisition, our newest player, Trace Jackson Davis. So it'll be Trace's birthday tomorrow also. So let's celebrate with a big old W on the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, get that W tomorrow, Raptors, for Coach. Get it for Coach. Get that dub for Coach on his birthday tomorrow. That's right. Another thing I love about Darko is he came on our show once. On this, actually, it wasn't just once. He was here for a few for like a week or so. He was here pretty regularly. Right after he got hired in the summer, after he got hired. He came on our show. He came in here with his little face, and it was him. Seriously, we got confirmation from people in MLSE that Darko Rajakovic, when he showed up in Toronto, he wanted to know all about the team, the city, and the fans. So he actually actively seeked out Raptors stuff online to find out what the social media was, and he came in here and talked to us. Seriously, he was in here. His name was Darko Rajakovic, and he spoke to us just like he would the coach we see on TV. And I played it straight. I wasn't like, oh, this is a troll. This is a guy who's coming in here. Oh, you're Darko Rajakovic. Yeah, right. Funny. No, I played it like he was. Because if it was, I didn't want to insult him and make him all pissed off. And I found out later it was him. So that's how much he cares, y'all. He wanted to learn about our fan nation. He literally came on my show and was in the comments with us, talking to us for like a week in the summer that he first got hired, before he was actually coaching us in the fall. He came and talked to us, and we were all like, okay, is this you? And he's like, he said stuff like, I'm going to make this team win a lot. You guys, I want to do this. I'm going to help you guys have a winning team again. And I'm really excited to be the Raptors coach. He said all kinds of stuff like that. And a lot of what he was saying was in line with who he is and what we've seen on there. So yeah, that's another really cool thing I love about Darko, is that shows the level of research and in depth that he's willing to do to understand his job, to do it the best, as full as ability. He came into a fan channel on YouTube, the Raptor Freak channel, and sussed us out and found out what we were all about and what we cared about. You know, he may still have people watching us just to keep tabs on, wait, what are the Raptor Freaks doing? What are they saying this morning? So, like, well, we're saying happy birthday, Darko. That's what we're saying this morning, Darko. That's right. Happy early birthday. It's going to be his birthday tomorrow. That's right. Superfan Mo is in the house. Yeah, that's my friend Mo. I love Mo. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Keep being great, Darko. Happy birthday. What a 905 comeback win. Wasn't that fun, Mo? Ooh, I love it I love it too. Like, I love sharing those experiences with you and watching those games where 905 has excellence. It does that stuff. Man, it's so awesome, man. And I was so happy to see Jameson get that chain. You know, he hasn't gotten a chain with the Raptors on the big club, I don't think, this year. Maybe he has. I just forgot. But yeah, it's like him getting a chain on the 905. That's fantastic. And I hope he is playing for them again tonight. I don't want to see them taken away from that team that played last night. This game was very competitive. And if they lose some of their guys because they're not playing tonight, then maybe we have a better chance. But we don't want to be the team that lost some of our guys because Jonathan and Jameson aren't playing again tonight for some reason. I don't know. We'll just have to see who's available and the lay of the land. Let me go look at the breaking news just in case. It could very well be Blake Murphy's got information for me on this subject. But I think that they're going to just be there because they're already there. It's a back-to-back, and it's 2 nights in a row. So I'm hoping that Jameson's still there with them. I mean, we're still healthy, and in some ways, is Jameson going to play against Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow? Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to see another game of battle on 905 today because if he can duplicate some of the stuff he did last night, that'll be really good because we need to see some consistency from game to game for Jameson battle, right? Right? Most saying so deserving of the All-Star nod and more. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, that was a really proud moment. I mean, some people say it's kind of a janky All-Star coaching job, but you know what? It's symbolic and it's also special and it's historic. You know, it is. He was the best international coach in the league this year, and he got the honor to coach the World All-Star team. And that team is one of the greatest teams ever assembled, even if it didn't play. You got SGA, Giannis, Jokic, and Luka. That's crazy. Wemby. That's such a crazy team. And Darko, in some ways, he could say, like Chuck Daly, I've coached one of the greatest basketball teams in the history of basketball ever. Like, seriously. Chuck Daly can say that because of the original Dream Team with Magic, Michael, Larry, and all that. Well, in some ways, Darko could say that about his All-Star coaching experience, even though he didn't really get to coach SGA because he was hurt and out, and Giannis. But, man, on paper, that team that he had for this All-Star weekend, That's top notch. That's prestigious stuff. That's very high level talent right there. That's right. Trevor's saying this: God instilled good things into Darko to be a great man, to help people, and to show them love. Yeah, it's just what I like about him is because his origins and where he comes from in Serbia and coaching youth. There's not really a direct path to where he is now. Like seriously, like who did what he did before him? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody's done exactly what Darko's done. And in some ways, he's made a whole different kind of new thing. And other coaches over there should be thanking him for kicking the doors down and getting to this point in his basketball coaching career to be a head coach in the NBA. Because honestly, how many people coaching youth basketball in Serbia dreamed of going to the NBA or thought that would even be realistic? In some ways, you have to be a little crazy to think that you have the audacity to think that you could do that path that what Darko has done. That's a testament to him in some ways, is that he had a very stubborn vision that he stuck to, and he's seen it through. This is kind of like the advice we've been hearing. If you really want to do something, you could do it. You just have to really want it and really work for it. And in some ways, Darko is an embodiment of that because of the path he has chosen, and he is formed, and he has forged, and he has made. And because he's made this path from international European ranks to the NBA, more will come after him for it. That's one of the awesome things. That's how he's helping some people right there, is that he kicked down some doors, and opportunities will be more available to people like him where they probably weren't there before, because he's that good. That's right. Nameless is here. Sup, my people? Bam, bam, bam. Nameless, good to see you, my guy. Now, you were talking about the Colin Murray-Boyles start in a comment before I came on the stream today. Don't get it twisted, Nameless. Jakob Poeltl is still our starting center. It's just that he's hurt and that he's on a minutes restriction. Depending on how things go with who's available, he's going to be in the starting lineup quite often. And in the playoffs, he should be starting. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and just anoint Colin Murray-Boyles a starter over Yag. I said that was a nephew move this week, Nameless. Because first of all, Colin Murray-Boyles is not a true center. And in certain games, a true center will be necessary for the starting lineup. And, well, let's say tomorrow Scotty does not come back to the team because of personal reasons right now, and he is not available tomorrow. So his spot on the starting lineup is open. So we'll start Colin and Jakob tomorrow probably if Barnes is not back. So, yeah, just hold your tongue, bro. Don't diss Yak, first of all. And I'll say this, don't get ahead of yourself just because one game Colin started over Yak. In some ways, it's a minutes restriction right now. That's part of the reason why. Some of it was also the matchup with the game with the Bulls. But, yeah, let's not get it twisted. In some ways, this could very well be a rotational starting lineup according to the opponent, and the option to start Yak is there or not. I don't mind the look at him coming off the bench. In some ways, this may be good for preserving his health long-term in certain ways. But I really do not want Darko to just start Colin forever over Yak, especially when there's a big man matchup that needs to be handled right away. Right away. He said that he didn't start Yak against the Bulls partly because he wanted to mirror his minutes with Nick Richards. That Nick Richards was coming off the bench, and in some ways he was trying to put Yak out there when Nick was out there. And that was part of the reason why that was happening that way. But yeah, don't write off Jakob as a starter yet, Nameless. That's too early. And he has to get healthy. And in the playoffs, well, we have to play Philadelphia or Cleveland in the first round. He's starting because Joel Embiid and Jared Allen are on the other side. Let's not get it twisted here, Nameless. Fiercely saying this, good morning, fam, and happy Share the Love Day for Darko. That's right. I blindsided y'all with this. I usually will give you a warning that we're sharing the love for somebody important. Well, this is a big one. We're sharing the love for Darko. And, we do these, it's very rare I'll do multiple Share the Love clubs for individuals. So Darko's getting his right now, the day before his birthday and the week after he did the Allstar coaching. So yeah, I felt like it was a timely time. Why not? It's Darko's birthday tomorrow. Let's go ahead and celebrate a little early. That's right. Despite adversity and business uncertainties, with key players moving on, Darko kept the focus on his goal. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, this is like what I was just talking about. His path to make his NBA head coaching job is not common. And I'm sure it was full of folly and mistakes and hard times and times where it's like, maybe I should give up. And he saw it through. That's how stubborn and diligent he is. And that's a good attribute. That's not a bad attribute to be stubborn, where you are not going to give up until you have success. He's been an assistant coach in the NBA for a long time, and he coached the Tulsa G League team. And, he was waiting his turn, just like Adrian Griffin, waiting his turn and putting in a lot of years as assistant coach, and his turn came. And now he's not letting that opportunity go. He's going to excel at it and go as far as he can with it. And I appreciate him for that. I really do. Fiercely saying, rebuilding the culture, development, stability. He's an amazing team leader. Yes. This is the love I wanted shared about Darko right here. Rebuilding the culture. Hello, times 1,000. Rebuilding the culture times 1,000. We could think about the last year of Nick Nurse and the weird ass fucking aura around the team of everybody being a little bit like, what the fuck is going on? Chris Boucher's like, man, I don't even know what's going on at this point, man. It's weird on our team, bro. Nick Nurse is weird, bro. What happened with Earl Watson? I don't know, man. Well, we needed a cultural reset. Things were all a little, yeah. And even when Darko had his first half year of his season with Siakam and Anunoby still on the team, it was still a little weird then. But he was starting to build that culture, even with some of the remnants of the past on the team, Grady Dick and Scotty Barnes. And then when those guys got traded halfway through the first season of Coach Rajakovic, we went into a new era with Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk around all of a sudden. The vibes at the end of the year were 360 degrees different than I said 180 degrees different than at the beginning of the year. That it was still a little kind of goofy and weird with Anunoby and Precious and a couple of the other guys that were still hanging around the team at that time, because it was kind of like, these are the old era and we're going to the new era of Scott and Darko, but these guys are still here. So it was like, it was a weird time. And we remember after the first year of Darko coaching our team, the vibes going into the summer were immaculate at that point. So it didn't take him long to switch that culture around. And it's just been building since. And you see the testament to that culture build in the chain, in the team photos after the game, and just how chummy and one for all the whole team is for each other right now. It's really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Great word of wisdom for Trevor from Fiercey. I like that. Fiercey saying, as a project manager, I appreciate how Darko built the team basically from scratch with Scotty as the cornerstone, assessed his piece and environment, and here we are, 5th in the standings for the East. Yeah, for now, and climbing up while maintaining team synergy, growing, and great vibes. Yeah, we do need to get up there in the standings a little higher. I think Cleveland is moving away from us a little bit. They're but New York's falling a little bit right now. Yeah, we got to keep plugging away, get those W's as often as we can, and hopefully we can leap one of the other teams and get into the 4th spot at least. We definitely don't want to get below Philly. We definitely want to get back up there. Yeah, we do. That's right. Randolph's here. Good morning to Randolph Phillips. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. Growth happens when things are uncomfortable. It's painful to grow beyond your comfort zone, but that's where the miracles happen. Yeah, and in some ways, forget about this on an individual level. I'm talking about this on a societal level. And in some ways, we're all going to take the burden of the change, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And, that's why we want to make sure the change is what we want if we're going to go through that. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to have to get out of their comfort zone. In some ways, your comfort zone is going to leave you, whether you like it or not. And that's going to be the thing that's going to test people the most. You can have all the first world fun things you have, like your macchiato and your streaming services and your DoorDash. There's no guarantee those things will be around forever. Let's just put it that way. So in some ways, when you get pushed into uncomfortable places, that's when you really want change in the right way, right? So I don't know. There's a balance here, billionaires and oligarchs. Are you going to keep the masses comfortable enough so that you can keep them sedated and not trying to come after you? Or are you going to do such crazy, fucked up shit that the pitchforks and torches are grabbed? It's like a real balance you have to strike. Maybe there are a section of the people that they'll have an okay life and they'll be fine. But maybe there won't be a huge section of other people that aren't, and they're out of their comfort zone and they want change. Yeah, we're going to talk about this on an individual level, but I want to talk about it on a macro level, a societal level. When society gets out of its comfort zone, revolution is happening. That's right. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Kudos to Jameson. Yeah, Jameson battle. Fantastic last night. Telling y'all, you guys got to watch 905. There's so much entertainment in it. It's just fun, man. It's a well-coached team. It's, in the past, G League could be hard to watch because it's like the quality of the talent sometimes can be bad, and the polish of playing basketball correctly can be bad. But not this year with 905. These are high-quality games. And sure, there's some G League being G League kind of moments still. But for the most part, this is good, high-quality basketball, and it's fun to watch. And the other thing I love about it, especially with Andrew Jones this year, is there's organization and there's actually skill level enough to execute things and actually do late-game situations and come back like they did last night. Because sometimes a G League team's just not talented enough or just not good enough or doesn't know how to do things in a way as a unit to actually play like a team. It's just an assortment of individuals playing selfishly for their NBA goal of getting out of G League, right? That's the tough thing, the tough balance in G League. The motives of the individual and the collective are not necessarily the same. And to have all those guys together in a collective fighting for the team goals, it's a real testament to Andrew Jones, seriously. Because often in G League, it's a very, very, very selfish league where, like, I got to get mine because I want a 10-day. I want to get called up. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing right there. That's a thing right there. That's right. That's right. Monique is saying among rookies, his career mark from deep is 40.7%. This is a Jameson battle. He shot 45.7 in the G League last season and shot 58.6 between summer league. These are his 3-point marks. Holy crap. Yeah, those are good percentages. And you're talking about 40 to 50% from three. That's good stuff. Grady Dick. That's the stuff right there. That's right. Let's see. Mo's saying this. Appreciate Darko for his post-game rants. Sitting players when not playing well and amazing timeouts. I just love that he's not a creature of habit completely. Like, he's always shuffling things up. And in some ways, it's tough for me. Like, I like to see patterns, and I like to see. I kind of like would expect, but in some ways, if I'm expecting it, the other coaches are expecting it, right? So it's important for him to shake things up every once in a while, whether it's the lineup, whether it's the minutes for certain people, whether it's the play sets, and which ones he wants to call with which players are involved. There's a lot of versatility and options on his Raptors roster, and he's utilizing it in different ways. Whether we're going to use Brandon this way tonight, but maybe a little bit different the next night. That kind of stuff is important because scouting reports will figure out who you are, and other teams will figure out a game against you, and you got to keep things fresh. You got to keep things fresh. And I commend Darko for this. If this is one thing that people worry about because of Dwayne Casey, and when he was coaching our team, a little bit too stubborn, a little bit too predictable, a little bit too slow to make adjustments. This is not the case with Darko. In some ways, this is a test from our history of the Raptors that we like to test on our coaches. This is part of the reason why Nick Nurse was such a stark difference from Dwayne Casey when he coached this for us. And, well, we needed to do the Casey test with Darko. And, well, he's not predictable, and he's making adjustments quick on the fly. And honestly, he probably does stuff in games that he didn't even plan to do before the game. He just improvised and made that decision on the fly in the middle of the game. He's that kind of risk taker. And I love that. I love that about him, man. I love that about him, man. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying, "Oh my God, it was really Darko on the stream. Wow, such an honor." I also clearly remember he said he had many surprises for us. See, she was there. She remembers. Yeah, I found out from an MLC employee that he did actually do stuff like that when he showed up. You got to think about it. He was so enthusiastic about getting the job. He wanted to hit the ground running. And what could he do in the middle of the summer? Not a whole lot yet. So he wanted to go and chest out the whole Raptors world, and he did come through and see us. So that's pretty cool. I thought you knew that, Fiercey, that was actually Darko who did come and talk to us. Monique is saying this: fans online thinking Alyssa having another baby. I'm like, chill. Does it always have to be a baby? She doesn't even look pregnant yet. She's not pregnant again. She's been at games recently and she's not showing pregnancy. Yeah, this is bullshit. Good call, Monique. You're exactly right. Your instinct is like, yeah. No, I don't even know. Like, I don't. First of all, Scotty's private life, none of my business. We don't even know if he's still actually with Alyssa in that kind of way, right? Sometimes people have babies with each other, but they don't actually link up and they're, together. So once again, I don't know what Scotty's personal life is. Some of the body language I've seen from him and Alyssa, and when he's going to get Millie after the game, tells me that they're not actually together anymore. And that Scotty's kind of a single guy, and that they're just co-parenting Millie. But I don't know. That's speculation. I don't want to cause any trouble for Scott, because he's a young guy. He's in the NBA. He makes millions of dollars. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I'm not here to judge him. But yeah, I don't know. That may be just like people like to have the idea, like, oh, he's having another baby. It could be, though. I don't know. Maybe it's not with her. I don't know. We don't know. I don't want to speculate anything about Scott, and maybe I just did. But, nephews and people online that are doing this kind of shit, just chill, man. Scotty, it could be all kinds of different things. It could be that there was something special happening in his family that he wanted to go and be a part of. It could unfortunately be somebody's in a bad place in their health all of a sudden, and he needs to be there because he feels like he needs to be around them. There's a lot of different things this could be. And nephews want to fill in the blanks with crayons like it's a coloring book. And, well, you go ahead and get your crayons out, nephews, and fill in the blanks with your coloring in what you think it is. I don't care. I think whatever it is, I want Scotty to be happy, safe, and the people that he cares about happy and safe. That's all I care about. If it's a kid, if it's whatever it is, it's none of my business. If I find out about it because it's publicly disclosed, that's different. But if it's not disclosed to me, I don't need to find out. I'm not Pablo Torre. I'm not going to go investigate every fucking thing and try and find this out. I'm not Geraldo Rivera. And in some ways, Scotty don't need people harassing him about his personal life, is what I would say. That's right. That's right. I don't think she's pregnant because I like you've seen her too. She has not been showing anything like that. Abaji had a kid. Sure. We saw Abaji and Alyssa, not Alyssa, Abaji's lady, Avery. She was showing. Oh, yeah, we could see she was pregnant, but I ain't seen Alyssa showing nothing. G saying happy birthday to Coach. That's right. That's right. Isaac saying let's grow. That's right. Wayne Strainer's here. Good morning to Wayne. Morning, Raptor Freaks. Darko not there yet, but he's close to being the best coach the Raptors ever had. Wow, that's big words, considering the Raptors have 3 coaches of the year in their history. 3 coaches of the year in their history. Sam Mitchell, Dwayne Casey, and Nick Nurse. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to have 4 coaches of the year in our history soon, with Darko Rajakovic joining the other 3 at some point. I like what Wayne's saying here because you know what? I think his standings of thinking about this are similar to mine. He's getting closer too. Obviously, getting a championship is going to have to be part of it to really be the greatest. I mean, I still think that Casey's more important to the Raptors than Nick Nurse in some ways. And a lot of people would argue with me about that. What do you mean? Well, in some ways, Dwayne did the heavy lifting of the build to the championship. He really kind of built the team up as the coach, and Nick just came in and finished the group project right at the end. Like, I mean, in some ways, like that's the argument right now, right? Who's the greatest Raptors coach ever? Nick Nurse? Is it that simple? Yeah, in some ways you can make that argument and just say it's Nick Nurse. But there's some of us who come around and say, I think it's Dwayne Casey. But at some point, we're going to be saying it's Darko. And I see this too, Wayne. I do. I see this too. Kaloy's here. Good morning to Carlo JS. Morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I remember that summer where they fired Nurse. The front office took their time to pick Darko. I really think we found our coach. Pop. Yeah. I mean, that'd be great. I mean, Darko worked with Popovich. He understands who Popovich is. And if he's tried to emulate him in any kind of ways, that's smart. That's smart. Be like Greg Popovich in the NBA. Yeah, that's probably a good role model. That's probably somebody to steal some of his techniques and ways that he operated for sure. I mean, there are a lot of parallels between Popovich and Darko because, we've heard the stories about Greg Popovich and DeMar and his humanitarian looking out for him after the trade and just being there for him when his dad died and all kinds of stuff like that. Darko's that same way. There's like a humanitarian edge to him outside of the game where we're just human beings. And it goes beyond me being your coach and you're a player. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that he probably took from Coach Popovich as a role model, is to be that humanitarian coach that really is there for his players. You know what I'm saying? That's why Popovich is who he is, right? Wayne saying BI during his interview mentioned Walter and Jameson as our two best shooters. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday from the game against Chicago. Brandon yelled at Jacoby in the middle of the game and said, "You need to shoot it. You're one of our best shooters." And then Jacoby did. And he made some shots to help us win by the end of the game. Yeah, Jameson, I would say, is our best shooter technically. And it's the stats that Mo posted show that. It's just that in some ways, I've talked about this with Jameson earlier this year, that game against Cleveland where he just went crazy. Was it Cleveland? Yeah, it was Cleveland. He won a game against the Cavs. We've swept the Cavs already this year. We don't have to play them anymore, which is fantastic. But we won the season series with them. So if there is a tie with them at the end of the year, we will get above them in the playoffs, right? So Jameson won one of those games against the Cavs. He had this crazy place where he shot like 7 threes in like the fourth quarter, and everybody's like, we need to do the Jameson more after that. But I'm like, no, listen, you got to understand, he's a potent weapon, and in some ways, if you pour all the liquid out of the canister, you're not gonna have any more liquid anymore. So in some ways, you got to let it recharge and have more. I don't know, it's tough. Like Jameson with more volume has not translated to good shooting. It's like really little bits in time where he can be effective. But if you play him like 30 minutes, you might not get what you want from him. So it's a real balance. This is part of the whole NBA thing that's tough that casuals may not understand, is just because Jameson can come out there in 10 minutes and hit like 6 threes doesn't mean he should start and play 30 minutes, because the 30 minutes that he plays may not add up to the same quality as that quick burst and the really good quality in that time. And that's part of it. Jameson has struggled this year compared to his rookie year. There are stretches where he has not shot well this year. In some ways, I worry that him and Grady have been going through a similar thing, a little bit of a similar thing right there. That's right. Let's keep going. Raptors champs, good morning to you. Good morning, Raptors freaks and champs. Don't forget the champs. That's right. Raptors champions 2019. That's right. G saying KD fired his entire media and entertainment staff without notice. Terrence Ross commented under the post, "Sacrificial lambs." Laugh out loud. KD is messy. Didn't he play with KD in Phoenix right before he retired? So he was kind of around him right at the end. Yeah, KD's in a lot of trouble right now. There's a little bit of scandals going on right now. Steph Curry has a big scandal right now. And I hope he rectifies it, honestly. Do the right thing, Steph. I don't want to think that you're a contributor and a person that made money off of drones that kill people. Like, seriously, Steph Curry, this is not a good look. You need to divest away from the company that makes drones that kill people that you're throwing millions of dollars at. That's not a good look, Steph Curry. In some ways, I'm thinking way less of you, because you're profiting off misery. In some ways, Kevin Durant is getting money off of misery in the similar way, investing in big, huge tech companies that may be part of the new dystopia that is coming towards us in fascism. Shame on anybody who's making money off of, technology that may be used to eradicate humans in the future. Shame on all of y'all. Steph Curry, you want the legacy to be I changed the NBA and made threes a lot and made the NBA a 3-point league? Or do you want it to be I gave millions of dollars to a tech company that made drones that massacred thousands of people? That's your fucking choice, Steph. In some ways, the thing that I said first doesn't outweigh the second, and that will be the thing I remember you for. So, yeah, have some fucking morals and do not aid and supply cash flow to the fucking thing that may destroy the entire human race, you idiot. You have little kids, right? Do you want your little kids to have a world that's free of violence and drone warfare? Why the fuck are you spending millions of dollars investing in that kind of shit, Steph Curry? Seriously, it's a bad look. He's not the only one, but he's the most prominent one. And he's the one that we're coming at. Just, shame this motherfucker. Seriously, Steph, I like you, bro. I remember watching you and Seth shoot shots when I worked at the Air Canada Center. And I would come into work early, and you're only a middle school kid. I like you, bro. But this is where you get to at this point, that you're funding companies that make drones that blow up people that are from Palestine. What the fuck is that, Steph Curry? Seriously, what the fuck is that? Superfan Mo saying W stream, W vibes. Thank you, Mo. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. You know I will. Raptor Freak Crew, strong forever. Just helping me limit the comments. I appreciate that. My streams have been streamlined recently. I don't know why. Maybe there's less comments or something. I don't know. But I've been getting done in an hour to hour and a half, maybe in under 2 hours. This, in some ways, that's fantastic. I don't mind it. But yeah, I appreciate everybody being here when they are. Milbester, good morning to you, sir. We got our Knicks fan in the house, our number one Knicks guy. Hey, Lex, how's the week been? Haven't been watching Knicks and Raptors with NBA season. Only saw the All-Star weekend. We won the skills challenge shootout. Yeah, that was totally convoluted shit. U.S. Women's hockey took gold over Canada. Ha, ha, ha. Well, fuck you for that. And elbows up, bitch, is what I would say to that, Milbester. Now, there's an important game tomorrow in hockey between the USA and Canada. And, well, we know who I'm rooting for. Let's go Canada. And we need to beat the USA. Seriously, this is serious shit because of all kinds of bullshit with fucking dumbass Trump. So don't fuck around, Canada. Beat the United States tomorrow in the game that y'all, this is our country. This is our sport, hockey. Let's beat the USA tomorrow then. Go Canada. This is what I'm saying right here. And I don't know what happened. I'm not watching the Olympics. I don't give a shit about any of this, Milbester. And you know how the Knicks won? Because y'all had a celebrity named Rick Brunson. How the fuck is that a celebrity? That motherfucker ain't no celebrity. That motherfucker is a former NBA point guard who's got assists and is perfect for that job. So it's totally rigged competition with their bullshit. Whether it's them going last, whether it's them having a real NBA passer instead of a jokester like Drewski fucking throwing the ball for them, whether it's having a legend like Allen Houston being the fucking legend, it's a shooter. Yeah, that was rigged as fuck to help the Knicks win the skills competition. You go ahead and celebrate that. That's Adam Silver handing you guys a win on that one. Seriously. Honestly, I think he would have done that for Clippers if the Kawhi had not been backing out of doing that challenge. That Cameron team was supposed to be Clippers. It was supposed to be Corey Maggette, Kawhi Leonard, and one of the other Clippers that are on the team, and not Con Knipple and Jalen Johnson. And in some ways, since Adam Silver is like Vince McMahon, he tries to write storylines like WrestleMania. And, well, his storyline probably would have been the Clippers win the skills competition if he could have had them be there. But Kawhi, his lazy ass, said no. Or either they didn't want him to do it because of aspiration, or Kawhi just said, no, I'm not doing this shooting competition anymore. I don't want to do it. Because originally when they released it, that was a Clippers team with Corey Maggette and not a Duke team with Con Knipple. So, yeah, good job, Knicks. Good job. Of course you fucking won. Rick Brunson was your passer. We had fucking Drewski and Anthony Edwards and 2 Chainz for the other fucking teams. Yeah, you go ahead and feel good about that, Milbester. Silly shit. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. I've been listening and realized I didn't shout out my crew. This show is helping me while I deal with health challenges. Love my Raptors community. We love you, Cool Cat. I'm sorry to hear if you're having health challenges. We want you to have healing, holistic, blessed vibes coming towards you, maybe just through my voice right now. I have intentions of healing and you know, making whatever's going on right and helping you to be okay. I don't like hearing this, and we love our coach, Cool Cat, and I appreciate you being here when you are, and I only want you to be okay. That's the most important thing right here. That's right. And good G saying feel better soon, Cool Cat for sure. A very very important Raptor freak. Somebody who's been with us for years, and we love you, Cool Cat, so much. Only wishing you the best in all kinds of different outcomes, whether it's with your health or anything that's going on in your life. Seriously. Yeah, Milbester's saying now U.S. men's hockey gold medal game coming up with Canada as well with Winter Olympics is tomorrow. Now we get it's almost finished, the Winter Olympics. Now we got World Basketball Classic, but yeah, elect spring training and WBC baseball's back. Yeah, Lindsey Dunn is down in Dunedin. Is that where they still do the Blue Jays spring training? And she's been doing interviews with different Blue Jays. And I've been posting them on our Discord. If you guys are Blue Jays freaks and you want to see there is Blue Jays content, I've been posting on our Discord to catch up with spring training and the interviews that Lindsay's been doing down there. Yeah, so I've seen the early stuff. I know that the Jays have a couple of early injuries that kind of are already overshadowing the season for possibilities of success because we've had a couple people already announce they're going to be out for the season, which sucks. So yeah, we'll see. I don't, once again, this is not a baseball space. I will allow a bit of it, but I'm not trying to do this, Milbester. Let's go do the Instagram stories though. Maybe we'll see Lindsey Dunn at Blue Jays spring training. Well, first of all, we got Andrew Jones, and he's celebrating the win from last night, the 6-point victory over Windy City Bulls. And there he is in the back, giving the chain to Jamison Battle, telling his players in the back, like giving kudos to different people who had different parts and what they did to help, like Elijah and AJ and Jamison getting in the chain. And that's awesome. If he's only going to play one game for 905, well, he went down there and he got the chain in the game that he did. There you go. There's Jonathan Mobo had a monster putback jam. It was hilarious because it's kind of right in the middle of Tristan trashing him. I was like, oh, Jonathan's not that good, huh, Tristan? And then boom, Jonathan does like this crazy offensive rebound dunk that's so impressive with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Mogay, he actually had a highlight from last night of him really throwing it down on us. That was a revenge dunk. That was nasty too, man. Mohamedou, I only wish you well, man. I saw you that day at the Wicked show. I was with Adriana and we were watching Wicked and in a play at the Princess of Wales Theater. And Mohamedou was in the audience, like in the row next to me. And I was like, man, there's Mogay, Raptors, Adriana. And then I kind of wanted to talk to him, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him because when the audience left, it was crowded and they were all going in different directions. And like the next day, he got waived by the Raptors. And I was like, oh, crap. I was like, I just seen him. He was at Wicked last night. AJ Lawson with the score from the game last night and just more cool stuff. There is another game today, so get ready, 905 fans. The game tonight will be tipping off at 8 p.m. So a little bit later start tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time for the Raptors 905 Windy City Bulls game 2. Now, the Raptors did something yesterday I do not agree with, and I'm kind of upset with them about it. They did an AI photo of Scotty on the official admin page. Now they're talking about Caribbean identities and nationalities and soca stuff. And they made an AI image of Scotty. I don't know if this is a real image. I've never seen this picture of him at Carnival or Caravana wearing a crazy Raptors outfit like the dancers would wear. But it's totally AI. Now, what I would ask Raptors, did you get the permission of Scotty Wayne Barnes to make AI versions of him for this stuff? I don't know if you actually asked him to do this. In some ways, this is very much going to be a legal spot that people are going to be challenging. This person made an AI of me and I against my consent, and I did not want this. Well, the Raptors themselves have made an AI of Scotty, and I don't agree with this. I'd wonder if they floated it by him. Did y'all just post it, Raptors admin, without asking him? Because you may be in legal trouble. If this may be a real issue coming up very soon because there's people making crazy AI shit of people without their permission saying crazy shit. And well, the Raptors have made an AI image of Scotty and they're posting it on Instagram. And I'm wondering if they actually got his permission to do this. I know that that sounds crazy, Raptors admin, but you probably do need to ask Scotty if you're going to make a fake Scotty, if he's okay with him. Now, if you did and everything's clear and it's fine, okay, that's you. You did it the right way. But if some idiot and the Raptors admin just made an AI of Scotty and didn't fucking talk to him about it, you might have broken the law. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you better get this shit cleared up because seriously, Scotty, honestly, I don't want him to sue the Raptors, but fuck, if you guys are going to make AI of our players without telling them about it or just goofy shit like this, you may find yourself in trouble at some point. I just don't like it, man. I don't like AI in general. And the fact that Raptors are mixing in AI shit on their content is really not something I'm happy about. I'm really not. And well, they made an AI of Scott. And well, did you get his permission? Is what I'm asking. Yeah, it's been 1 year of Monica Wright Rogers. There she is talking about it. Oh, this is big important news about WNBA Toronto Tempo. They are having auditions for the dance team on March the 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sign up to try out for the Toronto Tempo dance team. It'll be at MLSE Launchpad, 259 Jarvis Street on March the 15th at 10 a.m. You got to sign up to get your spot to go there. So if you got some moves and you're not on the Raptors dance team, maybe a lot of people from the Raptors dance team will do the Tempo dance team also, since the seasons are different, right? That could very well be possible, right? Right? Let's see. Jamal Shed has got something on. Let's see. What is this about? Jamal Shed's saying something about take a listen. Earning your opportunity is what makes the journey special. Interesting. I don't know what this is talking about. I didn't watch this before the show, so I don't know. Serge Ibaka's video is out with him and the guys for his new song, LT2B Gang. Yeah, their new song is out, and check it out. It's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. Sandro's girlfriend is on the exercise bike. She's also putting on blast a commercial. If you're in LA, you could get your kids in a Nike commercial. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Lindsey Dunn is in at spring training. Like I was telling Milbester, there she is. She's interviewing Dalton Varsho or whatever. I know how to say his name. But yeah, she's doing a lot of interviews down there. She's getting sunburned, is what she's saying. She's down in Florida and she's getting sunburned. So be jealous. She's like an hour ago. She's out in the beautiful blue skies of Florida at the TD ballpark with the Blue Jays at spring training. Jamal McGlure went and did his. He's been on breakfast television in the last weekend. He's also went out and did the event at the bar with the fans last night, the other night watching the game. So lots of cool stuff. Jamal's out in the community doing community stuff all the time. So yeah, he's saying come to his events. You never know who will show up. And there's a picture of him with Serge Ibaka. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Colin Murray-Boyles has got a photo shoot from the Rising Stars event this weekend on his Instagram. Kyle Lowry is saying happy birthday to his former teammate, Jared McCain, who just recently got traded away from his team. So I guess Kyle really bonded with Jared in the little bit of time while they were together, because he's saying happy birthday to him. He's gone. He's not even on his team anymore. There's Sandro Mamu walking into the game. There you go. There's your Instagram stories for today. Yeah, that AI Scotty really rubbed me the wrong way, man. Like, I don't know about that. Like, are we going to get this bullshit AI stuff all the time now, Raptors? Because I'm going to not participate. I'm sorry. I'm opting out. Hopefully I can have the opt out of AI option going forward. Even if it means I just turn off all my technology and I just go out in the yard and garden. I will do this. Seriously. It's so stupid, man. Fiercely saying, Milbester, Knicks lost to Detroit without Duren and Stewart. I don't think you will beat them in the playoffs. Ooh-wee! I love that. Stephen A. Smith saying the same thing. And this guy's like Knicks fan number one, right? Stephen A. Smith just came out and said the Knicks will not win the championship. That's so awesome with a New York guy who loves the Knicks so much knows the realistic chances of them actually winning are not that good. So he's actually telling people already, it's like, yeah, I don't think we're going to win. Well, they have not beaten the Pistons. The Pistons have their number, and they beat them once again this week. Yeah, thank you, Fiercey, for updating Milbestra on his team. So I say, funny how this drone story comes out just when his movie premieres. I don't even know about the movie. I don't care about that. Basically, what's happening is there's a lot more visibility of seeing stuff. And if you're going to try and defend Steph on this, don't, because it's reprehensible. Seriously, when you invest in companies, you should know what your company does. And if your company is part of the genocide of Palestinians in Israel, well, in some ways you're responsible. So don't try and defend Steph for this. If he is investing money in these kind of companies, he needs to divest and clear his name if he really cares about that. If he's going to continue to do it, then he's just as guilty. And I will lose a lot of respect for him. Seriously. I already have. I don't know what this movie is. I don't give a shit about that. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of ugly stuff about Durant that's just come out. And there is a bit of ugly stuff about LeBron also that's just come out. And in some ways, it's similar to the Epstein files. It's just the veil's being lifted. And we're seeing the truth about some of the individuals in our world that we didn't realize. And unfortunately, these are very disappointing things about those three individuals that I just mentioned. Yeah, Raptors champ said, I will use strength, Cool Cat. Be easy. I love this. This is part of what I love about the RFF is that you guys are very supportive for each other. When people are in trouble, we are there for each other. And then also when people have successes, we're celebrating with you also. That's a real community right there. I'm so grateful that you guys have chosen to spend time with me and that we built this. Seriously, I'm very, very grateful about this. Fiercely saying, get well soon. That's awesome. Cool Cat. Yeah. Milbester, if you have like 5 messages and nobody else has posted, read the room. How about that? He's saying Raptors lost to Pistons. Didn't you just play your first matchup? Knicks defense just messed up, but I'm not too worried. Still plenty of adjustments. Yeah, we lost. The first time we played the Pistons, we did lose to them just before the All-Star break. They're very good. Well, you guys have not beaten them either, but y'all have played them like 3 or 4 times already. So, yeah, you have been swept by the Pistons. That don't bode well for later on. Y'all just recently got Jeremy Sohan. I'm so disappointed in him. Seriously. Like, bro, you're complaining you're not getting to play on the Spurs. Are you going to get to play on the Knicks a whole lot? I don't know. The Knicks are very different. They shuffled up once again with Alvarado and Sohan being around on their team now. And it's interesting because we play the Knicks 5 times this year because of the in-season tournament. And we still have 2 more games to play against the Knicks. So we're going to get to see the new look Knicks 2 times before the end of the season still. So, yeah, we'll see you in a little bit, Milbester. That's right. We'll see you in a little bit. That's right. Let's go, Canada. Now, Stargate saying there's an Olympics going on. Yeah, the Winter Olympics has been going on for about 2 weeks now. I know. I'm with you on that. That's right. Stargate saying, when is the track and field and the gymnastics? It's the Winter Olympics. It's not the Summer Olympics. Yeah, they're telling everybody not to come to World Cup or the Summer Olympics in LA because, yeah, you could be a little girl going to Disney World. You're going into ICE detention for 4 months. Yeah, if you're an international looking person, don't go to the United States. It's not safe. So how the fuck are you going to have the World Cup and the Olympics, United States? You're not. It's going to be empty. It's going to look stupid. It's going to be a big fail. Trust me. It's going to be a big fail. G saying this, yes, Milbester, but the Knicks are ship or bust. Brunson already said he wants to get paid now. So there goes your cap situation. Decisions and cuts are going to be made next year. So Brunson only did the discount to do this, and he wants to see this, but he wants to get paid on the next one. That says a lot about him right there. Milbester saying, yeah, spring training site is Dunedin. Yankees is Tampa. Orioles is Sarasota, and Red Sox Fort Myers. So they've always been at Dunedin. That's kind of been a tradition, I think, since the very beginning. I can remember the Blue Jays going to Dunedin in the 80s when I was a little kid. So I think that it's been very much a big tradition, and the people of Dunedin probably really love the Blue Jays because of the business and what they do with spring training there. That's right. Stargate saying, sending healing vibrations to you, Cool Cat. That's right. We are with you, and we are for you. That's right. Milbester saying, oh, but yeah, Lex, I enjoyed the Winter Olympics. Look forward to baseball return to Summer Olympics in 2028 and for LA. The stories I saw from the athletes in Milan were amazing, inspired me a lot. Man, they should not try and put baseball back in this one. I mean, I'm serious, bro. Nobody's going to come to this Olympics if it's in the States, if there's not changes in your country before 2028. Let's just put it that way. Seriously. In fact, they're starting to talk about switching the Olympics from LA to Tokyo and doing it in Tokyo again because it's such a shit show in your garbage country right now. Seriously, Milbester. You need to hit the streets and you need to fight the king and you need to fucking get your power back to be in a democracy because y'all live in a totalitarian dictatorship that's Nazi fascism. They're not even hiding it anymore. They use Nazi terminology and say Nazi sayings on official government stuff. So you live in fascist Germany right now, Milbester. So I don't think we're gonna be there when the Olympics come, bro. The Olympics are gonna be a huge disaster because the United States are a huge disaster. So yeah, you go ahead and look forward to all that. I don't know if any of that shit's gonna happen. Let's just put it that way. The athletes for Canada and all the sporting events were great, and they're figure skaters. Okay, that's cool. All right, Milbester, keeping it to basketball. That's what we want to see right there. He's saying we'll see what happens in NBA playoffs where the Raptors and Knicks in the East, Pistons still won. How you see the matchups before the playoffs begin in April. We'll have to see if it shifts around and how it changes up to that position. I'm hoping the Raptors will be a 4 or higher. You know, right now they're 5th, and I don't like it. I want them to get back to home court. But there are a lot of signs that the NBA is going to try and like finagle things to have those 4 above and us in the 5th spot. I don't know if they necessarily want Canada to have home court advantage so we get more home games. I don't know. Ed Rogers III, you want more money? Let's win, baby, so you can have home court games and more games in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena. That's right. You got to invest to get your money back, Ed Rogers. So go ahead and spend some money to make some money. And the 2019 championship taught you something, didn't it, Ed? Yeah. You and Keith Pelly want us to win, right? Mm-hmm. That's what y'all care about. Well, you will win some money if you win. That's right. You'll get that money. That's right. Cunningham scored 42 points on the Knicks. Yeah, he's like that. He torched us too. He fucked us up too, man. Yeah, he did. Pistons almost beat us in the first round of the playoffs last year. They got even better. Their rebuild didn't last long. Yeah, they're similar to us. We've kind of come fast with our rebuild too, but they're coming a little bit quicker and from a further depth. Like if you think about where the Pistons were a couple years ago, holy crap, for them to be number 1 in the East is a very impressive feat. And if they gave you guys a hard time last year and they're improved this year, yeah. You're going to say, well, we're improved too, Lex. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens right there. We'll see what happens. Milbester's saying the Knicks wanted to get Sohan for a while in a trade, and then they signed him from waivers. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't understand why the Spurs did they fumble with Jeremy Sohan? Like, is that what this is? I think that they just got to a point where there was differences and it's just not working. And they're like, well, fuck you, man. We don't want you here. There may have been that he was kind of being a douche behind the scenes is what I've heard. Like he was complaining and being kind of a toxic player on the Spurs. And the Spurs organization is not about having those kind of people around their team. And they'd rather punish somebody than give in to them and figure it out. I mean, they learned a lot from Kawhi, right? So, I mean, that is kind of cheap. And in some ways, once again, I'll say y'all have privilege. Y'all have things handed to you. You know, you're a team that has privilege. And it's just like people in society. A white Christian male has privilege, right? Well, the Knicks have privilege as an NBA team, whether it's the shooting skills championship or getting Jeremy Sohan off the waiver wire like this. That's privilege. And you should understand that your team gets help and your team has added advantages that other teams don't have. Milbester, okay? And that is a great example of how privilege works in general society with humans and people. Yeah, right there. You got privilege. That's what Jeremy Sohan is, buddy, just so you know. Let's say Stargate saying, not trying to defend anyone for doing anything. I just found the timing interesting. Well, there may be partly to that. I mean, it's a similar thing to Kash Patel dragging Chauncey Billups out of his job in handcuffs, the FBI, on the day of the NBA season starting. Yeah, there could be some vibes to that. For sure, for sure. Jimmy's saying Pistons have been rebuilding for more than a decade, laughing my ass off. Yeah, it's just that their rebuilding has been kind of was at the bottom and just mired in badness for a long, long time. And they just got the traction and shot up in the last year. They did well last year too. So it's kind of like, they go from like the worst record in NBA history, which was the year before, the first year of Darko. And then they got a playoff team last year. And now this year, they're number one team in the East. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. And that's right. That's right. Jimmy's exactly right. This has not been a short rebuild or a fast rebuild. This has been, you could honestly say, has this rebuild been going on since Chauncey and Ben Wallace and Tyshawn Prince? You could kind of say that. So this isn't a fast rebuild. This is like a 20-year rebuild, right? In some ways, you could say that. Stargate saying, I know the Winter Olympics is going on. I was being facetious. I don't really look at that as a real Olympics, but that's me. Oh, I think it's a real Olympics. Oh, for sure. Being a guy who's half his family's from Manitoba and his other half of his family's from Estonia, a northern climate guy like me. Oh, yeah, that's a real Olympics, man. There's a lot of real sports that are involved in it. So, yeah, I can't diss it like that. I think that both Olympics are important, summer and winter, because there's a lot of good winter sports, and Canada as well at the Winter Olympics, right? And so does a lot of the countries like Norway and Sweden, stuff like that. So I can't get with you on this. I respect the Winter Olympics. It is an Olympics. I had the NES game. It was horrible though. Winter Olympics, or what was it called? I think it was called Winter Olympics or something, like Winter Games. I had that Nintendo game and it was awful, man. Oh my gosh. Figure skating, speed skating, ski jump. And it was so hard to control it. And it was just maddeningly frustrating. If you had that Winter Games NES cartridge, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about if you had that game. Milbester saying, I think Sohan didn't fit with the team and the other players they had around him, and Wemby was better. Sohan's personality isn't serious. Yeah, I don't know, man. The dude, in some ways, it's like, okay, I say it's a plus for you guys, but you guys just got more depth, I guess. So good for you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Jeremy Sohan. I liked him until he put y'all's jersey on. That's it. That's it right there. All right, let me keep going with my tabs, and I'll get done soon. We're almost at 2 hours. Is Milbester saying, Lex, I didn't know you were from Estonia, so you're half Estonian, Canadian, American. The Northern Europe has always been great for winter sports, Norway and all that. I'm not American except for by citizenship. I don't have American background in my life. Like, I do kind of on my mom's side. Like, her family can be directly linked to the Mayflower. So, but we immigrated to Canada pretty quickly. So my mother's side is Canadian and my father's side is Estonian, and directly from Estonia. Like, my father speaks Estonian. So that's really my heavy heritage, is the Baltics. And you can understand why I feel strongly against people like Trump and Putin, because I come from a small country that has had to fight fascists for a long time. And the overtures of Putin towards the Baltics at times, I take very seriously. Take very, very seriously. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, my Estonian roots are very important to me. I was lucky enough to go to Estonia in the last couple of years and see the homeland and kind of check with, like, we actually went to property that my grandfather used to have, like in all kinds of different historic places from my family I got to see in Tallinn. So it's pretty cool. Very, very cool stuff. I'm very proud of my Estonian heritage. Very, very proud of it. Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy said my gramps came here as a baby after World War II from Lithuania. See, that's a Baltic cousin right there. Yeah, it's cool. I was eating with a friend of mine last night, Angela, and I told her, I was like, my family's from Estonia. That's where my name comes from. And she said, well, I'm Latvian. And I'm like, whoa, it's like all these Baltic connections in different places. So Jimmy's got a grandfather who came here as a baby after World War II from Lithuania. That's awesome. That's awesome. Jonas and Buzelis and There's so many good Lithuanian players in the history of the NBA. There's only a couple of Estonian players, and of course, there's a few good Latvian players too. Yeah, yeah. Latvia is our border cousin too. That's right. The Baltics are those three countries: Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Estonia is the smallest one. Is the one that's kind of it's such a beautiful place. I was so happy to go there and see it. And I really appreciate getting on that trip with my parents. And Adriana went with me too. She got to go to Estonia with me, which was awesome. Yeah. Porzingis is Latvian. Yeah. Yeah. He's probably the greatest Latvian player ever. Maybe I would say that. He's just been the most successful and powerful. I mean, he's won an NBA title with the Celtics, right? That's right. Yeah. All right. Let me check on my tabs and see where we're at, and we'll finish up real quick. Breaking news. Any breaking news? Any news about the 905? Anything about it? Okay, here we go. Yeah, breaking news from Blake Murphy. This is in the last hour. Jamison Battle has been recalled to the Raptors. Had a huge second half in the 905 comeback last night. So it sounds like we're not going to have Battle for the 905 tonight. So that is exactly what I was waiting for, Blake Murphy. Thank you for your update. So no Battle tonight, guys. Happy birthday to former Raptor Andre Barrett. Andre Barrett played very little for us. And you probably like, who the fuck is Andre Barrett? He's 44 years old today, out of the Bronx, New York is where he's from. He played a half season for the Raptors, 7 games played, 4.6 points per game. And this was in 2005, 2006. When Andre Barrett played for the Raptors. Alas, he did play for the Raptors, and we do all the Raptors' birthdays on this channel. So happy 44th birthday, Andre Barrett. Yeah, there you go. All right, let me see. Check on your fantasy teams. Definitely. We are running to the end of a long fantasy week with the All-Star weekend in the middle. Let's go ahead and get the classic card. Oh, wait, I didn't even do the refs for tonight. Real quick, referees for the second game against Windy City Bulls. The head ref tonight will be Claudio Mula. He's still here. He reffed the game last night. He's gonna ref again tonight. He's from Albania. I kind of did his thing yesterday. The second ref is gonna be Eric Alig, number 4, and the third ref is Lars Murray, number 35. So those are our refs for the G League game tonight. Claudio Mula, Eric Alig, and Lars Murray are the refs. All right, let's do the classic card. Hopefully we'll get right out of here right on time. Let's see if you guys can do this quick. Yeah, this one's tough, and we'll see. Slug Deezy's here. He probably can get it, but we'll see. All right, this is a tougher one because I don't think we've ever talked about this guy before. It's a Sonics card, which is fun. That's right. You know, last night during the 905 game, Jeff Malone was the halftime interview. Jeff Malone, formerly the Washington Bullets and the Utah Jazz, a prolific scorer from the 80s in the NBA. It was very interesting to see Jeff Malone at the game. And, of course, hearing Kendall Gill call that game last night was fun. You'll hear him again tonight if you watch the game. Former NBA player Kendall Gill, he sounds like Sam Mitchell when he's calling the game. He has the same kind of accent and kind of mannerisms in the way he talks. So it's kind of cool to listen to Kendall Gill. Although Kendall Gill, he kept calling them the Toronto 905. Oh, Toronto 905 is beating them. Go on, Toronto 905. It always makes me laugh when somebody says that, right? Looks like Sean Kemp. You know, he played with Sean Kemp. So this guy is around that same time. He plays the same era. Johnny Newman. That's interesting. No, the former Knick and Charlotte Hornet, Johnny Newman, is not this guy. I don't think Johnny played for the Sonics. But Milbester, do you remember Johnny Newman? He played for your team on the Knicks way back. Johnny Newman. Do you remember him? No, I'm sure Knicks fans will remember him. We'll see if Milbester remembers Johnny Newman. Now, this guy, his last name has the same last name of one of the 905 players, kind of, that shot 4 for 4 from 3 that I said earlier when I did my reaction to the 905 game last night. One of the guys off the bench who came back from injury, his last name is almost the same last name as this player. He's a player that plays on 905, and he hit 4 for 4 from 3. That's right. They mention him all the time in games, Johnny Newman. So you've heard that name. You just haven't seen him play. Yeah, he's a small forward. He was not a bad scorer. He wasn't the best defender, but he was all right. He was all right. Yeah, who is this, guys? His first name is, let's see, what is a good way to do his first name? His first name's the same as one of the most important Syracuse Orangemen, ever in the history of the NBA or in Syracuse. So if you know his first name and you know that clue from his last name, he has basically a similar last name to the guy on the 905 who hit 4 for 4 from 3 last night. And that'll get you there. Oh, man, I don't know. It's like easy here. We got 30 seconds till 2 hours. We're on the clock. Oh my gosh. You guys can't figure this out. His face is hard to look at, like to see who he is. His hairstyle might have given it away if you could see it better. But in some ways, it's like this was a forward that played next to Sean Kemp and Gary Payton when they were on the Pacers. Nate McMillan was on this team. They had Olden Polynice. They had who else was on that team? Who else was on? Yeah, Xavier McDaniel was on this team around this time too. Yeah, we need some guesses though. Who is the greatest Syracuse Orangeman that played in the NBA and was the #1 pick? What's his first name? And you'll have the first name of this player. So if you know one of the greatest Syracuse players in the history of Syracuse, who was the #1 pick in the NBA draft this year, you'll know the first name of this player. If you know that name. Yeah, Sam Perkins. That's a good guess, UC. And UC's getting ready to come to Toronto this week. It's going to be awesome. Sam Perkins is a good guess. He played on this team with Sam Perkins, but is not Sam Perkins. Is not Sam Perkins. This guy was a forward. This guy's about 6'9", 6'10", but he was a forward, not really a center, a small forward. Yes, Derek is the first name. Derek McKee. Fiercey got it. That's right. It is Derek McKee. She got it. There you go. Of course, Tyreek Key made the 4 for 4 off the bench for the 905 last night. And Derek Coleman is the Syracuse Orangeman that got selected #1 in the draft. And the player here is Derek McKee. Wow. What year is this card? Let's see. It should be on the back somewhere. Where is it? We can look at it from what year they're showing. 91. 1991, Milbester. 1991. I know you're going to say that's like 3 years before I was born. That's what he's going to say. Fiercey, good job. Seriously. Fiercey's not always good with the classic cards. So I'm wondering if she pieced it together from my clues. Maybe she understood it because she knew Derek from Derek Coleman, and maybe she figured out from Tyreek Key. So Fiercey Salsera, I'm going to give you a 200-point total for today for Derek McKee. That's pretty good right there. Clues. I knew it was the clues. I love that. Fiercey, awesome. I'm going to give you a dunk too, just for problem solving and thinking and showing that she can figure it out. I love that. 36 for Fiercey on the dunk charts now. You're one of the higher ones for the dunks this year. You're up there this year. Yeah. Was McKee on that 93 Sonics team when they lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Suns? Yeah, I think so. I think that he spent most of his career on the Sonics, but he did switch to the Pacers at a certain point. Derek McKee was on Indiana with Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson later in the 90s. So I don't think Derek McKee was on the team with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp when they went to the finals against the Bulls. He was on the Pacers by then. I think that's about right. Yeah. Is it Derek McKee? Yeah, it is. It's Derek McKee. Yeah, you remember him, Stargate? He was a very good defender. Yeah, he had really long arms and was very agile for a man his size. I think he's almost like 6'10". He's like a 6'10" small forward, power forward, 6'9" or 6'10". What does it say on the back? I should just look at it. I've got the fact check. 6'9", 205 pounds out of Alabama. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's run it down. UC saying, is the Supersonics coming back a good idea? Yes. Yes, it is. It's a great idea. They should have never lost their team. The only reason why they lost their team is because Seattle, the city, fought with the team about the arena. Key Arena, where the Sonics used to play, at a very small attendance. So they weren't making that much money with the arena. The Storm play in Key Arena to this day, and it's a better size for a WNBA crowd. But it's not a good size for an NBA crowd. So the biggest holdup at that time was the owners in the city were disagreeing on who should pay for the new arena for an NBA-sized attendance. So they just moved the team to the Thunder, to Oklahoma City, and that's why that happened. No, they need to return. That market is really, really good, and the iconic stuff about the Sonics needs to return to the city. And they need to bring their championship banner back from Oklahoma City also. And maybe even Michael Cage needs to come back and start calling the games in Seattle over Oklahoma City, because he's the announcer for the Thunder, and Michael Cage is a Seattle Supersonic. So we'll have to see, man. I think it's a good idea. I think that it'd be nostalgic, and I think it would be good for the league. It'd be great for the city of Seattle. Seattle's a great sports city, and it's been weird not having them in the league. Let's just put it that way. It has not looked right. That's right. Milbester's saying now the Thunder won a championship after Durant, Westbrook, and Harden left, but David Stern handled that story very badly. You know, Durant was a Sonic. When Kevin Durant was drafted, he was drafted to the Seattle Sonics, and then they moved to Oklahoma City. But he had a season in Seattle where he played in the blue, the green and yellow. So yeah, he was a Sonic his first year, right? That's right. UC saying, I see. I love the green color on those classic jerseys. Yeah, bring it all back. Bring it all back. And I think that honestly, they have priority over Las Vegas to come back. Like, that's how bad they want to do this. And I think that Adam Silver's all about it. The return to nostalgia, it'll be good for the city. It'll be good for the NBA. It's like you're reclaiming a part of the history. You know, they had that championship in the end in 79. They won the NBA championship with Lenny Wilkins, one of our great coaches. And, you know, the banner for this championship is up in Oklahoma City. It shouldn't be there. Now that the Thunder have their own banner, keep that one, and we'll take the Seattle one back to Seattle, because that's where it should be. That's right. Milbester, let's see. Milbester said a couple things. He's bringing up other sports again. He's saying Seahawks winning the Super Bowl will lead to this, maybe. The Sonics back in the new arena rebuilt, plus the Seattle Kraken in NHL. Mariners were in the ALC. Sonics need to come back. They can. Yeah, if there's a new arena that the NHL is using for the Kraken, then maybe the infrastructure to bring the Sonics back is real easy. And the big sticking point that made them move in the first place is gone. I think that's it. Stargate saying, yes, the Sun are coming back. The Sonics are coming back, and I predict our very own ex-coach, Dwayne Casey, will be president. Yeah, I could see that, because Casey was a Sonics guy. He was a part of their franchise and as a coach. So, yeah, I could see that. I could see that totally. The best are saying Seattle's in a good place now with the Seahawks Super Bowl win, and Key Arena renovated with Seattle Kraken. So they just renovated Key Arena and made it bigger finally. Because I went to Seattle once, and I saw Key Arena. And I was like, this is not a regular NBA arena. They had to do a lot of remodeling to make it that big, because it was only like I think it was like a 10,000 seat arena. And they wanted to double that, obviously, because most NBA arenas are 20,000 almost, right? 18 to 20,000. Well, they had to double their capacity, because they were like a 9,000 to 10,000 seat arena originally, the Key Arena. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. All right, Milbester, you're just dragging out my stream. I'm trying to get out of here. All right, doing a real quick rundown. We were doing a Share the Love Club for Darko today, because it's his birthday tomorrow, and I'm proud of him for being the World All-Star coach in the last week. It's just a fantastic guy, and I'm so happy he's in charge of our team. When Raptors fans or nation talks down Darko, they really show how casual they are. A lot of people have been talking trash about him in the last 2 years, and they don't understand, to get to success, we've got to go through failure. And in some ways, Darko is building this through the failure to the success in one of the best ways. So trust in Darko, like we trusted in Masai and Bobby. Trust in Darko, because the results are there. If you're really astute and you know basketball, you can pay attention and see this guy's a good coach. I mean, we're hearing it on other broadcasts during our games all the time. They said this the other night. Stacey King said in the Bulls game, Darko's a really good coach. Like, he really is organized, and he really cares about his team and what he's doing. You know, other people can see this, you know, so we should be very grateful and thankful that Coach Rajakovic is the head coach of the Toronto Raptors. And, you know, people that come at him because we lose one game or something like that, you're idiots. People that think this and doubt him, you're idiots. People that don't like Darko for whatever reason, you're idiots. So get with it. Happy birthday, Coach. We love you here on the Raptor Freak channel. And I only wish more and more success for you, obviously, because your success is all of the Raptors' success, including the Raptor Freak Nation. So we love you, Coach. Happy birthday. And get that W tomorrow on your birthday at 3:30 in the afternoon with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'll have the preview for that tomorrow, guys. I'll be back there. My stars of the game for the 9:05 game last night, once again, AJ Lawson, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle, Jarkel Joyner, Olivier Sarr, Tyreek Key, and Julian Reese. That's right. I did 7 because it was like that. It was a supersized game with a supersized score, and 7 stars had to suffice. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Let's go Raptors 905 with my Black History Month Raptors 905 shirt. That's right. And let's get that win against Windy City tonight also, and keep going for the top of the Eastern Conference in the G League. Salute to Andrew Jones also. And I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. 9:30 a.m. preview for the Milwaukee Bucks game in the afternoon on Sunday. Let's go Raptors. And let's go Raptors 905 and beat Windy City tonight.